We welcome you to Lakota West High School. Colin Kunz alongside Nick Johnson, Camden Braden here for East versus West. We're excited to be joining you for pregame here on beautiful Main Street at Lakota West High School. Excited for this basketball game. Hopefully it goes a little different than football, Nick.
I wouldn't be too sure about that one. Although I will say I'm glad we get to do the collaboration again. Obviously, I've been doing this broadcasting thing with West for quite a bit of time now, and to see what you guys are doing at East this year, it's been fantastic. And going back to football, what we were able to do, the pregame show there, absolutely fantastic. And now to do it for basketball here too, and I'm liking this setup a little bit better out there, kind of getting the feel of the crowd a little bit in Main Street. And I guess for me it's a good thing because I guess I was in your shoes with football trying to lead the thing. Now I get to kind of tune into my inner Charles Barkley and get to the deep dive and the stats and everything. I mean, this is what I enjoy doing, so I'm all here for it.
Yeah, there you go. Exciting stuff. Definitely, like you mentioned, the atmosphere a little more lively out here on Main Street. You know, we got all the crowd behind us, got everybody coming in. Great stuff. So let's just get us started here. One of the big points for West this season, that new coaching change, Coach Moss. What has that been like this season?
Yeah, it definitely came in and it changed everything. I mean, you hear stories about players behind the scenes, what it's like for them to have to go through a change in coaching staff. But it seems like it's been pretty seamless thus far. And I will say this, when I say this, I mean no ill intent towards Jim Leon and what he did for Lakota West High School, because he was a fantastic coach. But Coach Moss is exactly what this program needed. He came in, and it is very refreshing to see the new energy that's brought into this place, especially when you have a coach like Coach Moss and his supporting cast on that bench that kind of brings the same passion that the players have for the game, kind of drawing up their plays and their energy and their excitement. It's like they're just one of the team with these guys, and that's exactly what you want. And I know high school, it's a bit of an age gap for some of these older coaches. Coach Moss, he's not that old a guy, he knows what it's like to be in these high schoolers' shoes. He's been coaching at the high school level for a couple years now. 2 with Middletown is what he's coming off of. I believe this is year 5 of his high school coaching career. So he knows what it's like. He knows GMC. Like I said, he led Middletown last year. And he plays a fast pace of basketball, and I think that's something we're going to see here tonight, especially with the energy from the rivalry game. It is a fast pace of play, so you can definitely feel his system right away. I think especially today, it's going to hit right in that first quarter.
Yeah, so you touched on a couple of the big points there with Coach Moss. One of the big things I've definitely noticed is just the team chemistry he has built. I know the team took a trip to the University of Kentucky a couple days ago over Christmas break, and just building up that team, it's been so strong, and it's good that you guys have a coach like that.
Yeah, the chemistry has definitely been a big thing, and I think another big point that makes Coach Moss so special is that he's not just a basketball coach, he's a life coach for some of these young men. I mean, you see a couple of players today, I don't know if they're still wearing it because we're getting close to the game time, but you'll see them walking around the hallways before these games. They're in their nice dress shirts, their khakis, they're getting ready to go for their game. They dress up like it's an NBA game. You're walking into that tunnel dressed up with your game day fit on. I mean, he gets these guys together, he builds that chemistry like you said, but he also builds just better men to leave this school, both on the basketball court and in life in general. So he's a fantastic mentor for this group.
Yeah, and like you mentioned there with the dressing up, that's just incredible. Just brings a nice amount of respect to the basketball team. That's something Coach Atkins also does. Cam, if you can just maybe speak a little bit about what Coach Atkins has done for the Lakota East program over his past 7-8 seasons here.
Yeah, and like you said, with West's new head coach, Coach Atkins brings a very similar type of feel and energy to this Thunderhawks team. And he has obviously had a very successful 7-8 seasons, just very consistent. He has a culture, and he wants everyone to abide by it. Leading better men and making sure that these players just are students first, men first, and basketball players second, and he has bred some great basketball players.
Yeah, and that's just incredibly important. Here at Lakota East, well, I guess I say here we're at Lakota West, but typically at Lakota East, we have those coaches. They build up that good mentality, and obviously West with getting Moss too, and obviously Bolden. It's just really strong from both schools there, and it just speaks volumes to Lakota in general.
Yeah, you can definitely tell what this athletic staff, with what they're bringing in, you can definitely tell what they're going for, and so far, like you said, they've done a fantastic job. I mean, you take a look at Coach Bolden. I mean, I believe this was year 5, his past football season. Not just the success that he's had on the football field, but he has the same Coach Moss effect. So I think that was one of the big things, is when you bring in Coach Moss, he's so much like Coach Bolden and what he's been able to do off the floor, that I think that was really the big draw. Because, I mean, you look at some of what he's been able to do with basketball. I know there were some people that were a little skeptical up until the season started just because of certain past records that he had, but you can definitely tell he was the right fit just with the style of basketball and the style of team building he's able to bring.
Yeah, and you guys definitely hit the nail on the head there with that hire. Well, kind of segueing off of that, we'll take a look at our series history. All-time series history, Thunderhawks have led in this one since the GMC started keeping stats. Thunderhawks lead the series all-time 19-13. the Thunderhawks have been strong, but Firebirds looking to fire back at that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you take this one, we take the. We got that stat a few games ago. I mean, obviously with the coaching change, things have been changing a bit in there and getting a little bit closer. But I mean, West has lead on that one, East has lead on this one. So, you know, the back and forth between these two schools, I think every year is what makes this matchup so special. And of course, we're fortunate enough to get it twice, being in the GMC on both sides. So it's definitely a very interesting game, and I think the energy is going to play a big part in, obviously, you got to think West knows they're down, so they have that little bit of a chip on their shoulder, but then you got East on one hand who has that lead, and they're going to want to play to it and come on the road and play spoiler. They definitely want to increase that lead on West. There's no doubt about it.
And East is a strong team coming into this game. It's going to be difficult for the Firebirds. We're going to have to dig deep. We'll get more into that later. But Cam, again, go back to Coach Atkins with you. He has a record of 12-3 all time. You know, how important is that for the Thunderhawks?
Yeah, I think it's very important for them and what really he brings, because he takes these rivalry games very seriously, just making sure that the guys are prepared for it. Obviously, like you saw right there with the record, 12-3, just they've been very successful against Lakota West under Coach Atkins, and this is going to be a very emotional game for them because these are two teams that played 3 times last season. East won the first one, and then West won the next 2, including in the playoffs. So East is going to be looking to kind of get back for them ending their season last year. And this should prove to be a great game. I mean,
yeah, definitely. And like I said, we will get back into that later. But earlier today, we saw Coach Atkins walking in. He was looking all serious. Everything was all business for him. He's getting ready, able to ready his guys. Nick, you know, you were here all day at West today. What was the energy like in the building? Just throughout the team and just everybody here?
Well, I tell you what, it didn't feel much different, but I think that's just because this team always has that energy with the game day, and I think it goes back to what I was talking about with Coach Moss kind of building that chemistry. They're all locked in every game. For them, before the game, they might feel some stuff, you know, in the locker room, get the jitters. Okay, this is Lakota East. This is the big rivalry game. But before the game, during the school hours, I mean, they were calm, they were cool, they were collected. They had that swagger that you always want to see from your team. I think they're ready to take on these Thunderhawks from what I was seeing earlier. But like I said, that can all change, you know, at the drop of a hat before the game.
Yeah, you know, getting out there, getting the tip off, the nerves start going, you know, things just start rolling. Everybody gets into their head. Cam, maybe you can give us a little bit about what it was like at East today?
Yeah, I think the energy was very good at East. I think the players were really excited and, like you said, kind of jittery. Just everything's kind of going, and it was all really anyone can talk about all day. You know, they're just decked out in like their shooting shirts, all their sleeves, and I just think the energy at East, it's for any East-West game, football, basketball, whether that may be just something big. I think it's special for everyone, and something that we can really rally around.
And like you said there, it's all anyone can talk about. They had a pre-sale going on in the cafeteria earlier today during the lunch hours because they're expecting one incredible attendance in this gym tonight, and I think you're going to feel those jitters, that same energy from all these fans packing that arena tonight.
Oh, yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. We're at Lakota West here, so the Red Sea, they're going to be bringing the energy. One of the most dominant student sections in the GMC, maybe in Southwest Ohio. Big stuff there. But don't doubt the Hawks' Nest. You know, obviously our students travel well, especially for a basketball game like this. They're going to be into it. They're going to be making their presence known here at Lakota West High School. With that, let's take a quick break. We'll join you back in just a little bit here for the pregame show.
Good.
We're good. We're off. Can you guys And we welcome you back to Lakota West High School. Colin Kunz alongside Nick Johnson, Camden Braden here on Lakota West Main Street. We're about to get back into it here. Let's start off with, this is a big game. East versus West, probably the biggest on both of these teams' schedules. Maybe it's not record, but just energy-wise and mentality-wise, one of the biggest. But what are some other big games that West has played in this year, Nick?
Yeah, they haven't had a ton of top-tier competition, so it's been interesting to see, this team finally has an opportunity to kind of build its identity before you get late into the season, and obviously the tournament is what everybody plays for at the end of the year, and you're going to have top-level competition, at least if you want to be a good basketball team. So, it started off, they had a big win against Withrow to open up the season, which is exactly what they needed to get themselves going. But then also, their first home game of the Coach Moss era, a huge blowout victory over Coleraine. And like I said, first home game, you get the student section out here. They can finally see what's going on, what this new coach is all about. That's definitely what you want to start your season off, right? And from there, things did kind of cool down a little bit, back-to-back losses. Right now, they're sitting with 5 wins and 3 losses, I believe. There were a few out-of-conference games recently, and I know stats with that don't carry over too well. But I want to say 5-3 is what their posted Ohio record is. So all in all, it's been a pretty solid season to start, and I know definitely looking into the latter half, they're looking to only get better. Because you look at some of the teams that they've lost to, like Sycamore was a big loss. I say big loss, not in terms of score. I mean, you look at the final score, 50-40. That's not great, but the final score line is not nearly, close enough of a representative for that game. I mean, LJ Green was having to hold down Riley Burgess, the Purdue commit, in the paint the whole game because Luca Gilbert, the Lakota West center, has been out the entire year. So, I mean, you've got a Division I guy against a junior who's not, obviously you lose a few inches from your center who's 6'8", you go down to 6'5", and then you're obviously facing a giant. Whatever height you have doesn't matter when you're going up against that guy. But, I mean, he played physical, he was gritty, he had energy, he was holding his own both sides of the floor. So, I mean, that's kind of what West needs to search for, is just find that energy yet again, get back into that groove, and then something I want to talk about later is just play fundamental basketball, because especially in a game like today, fundamental basketball is what's going to get you far in high school.
Yeah, you mentioned the Sycamore game there. That is a big game. You said lost by 10, but Sycamore, second in the GMC right now, that's a good team. And especially to play against, like you said, Riley Burgess. Obviously, we'll talk about him later with our game picks, him being so big for Sycamore, but that's just huge that West was able to compete in that game. So, Cam, I'm going to go over to you now. What about East? What big games have they had as of late?
Yeah, and this Lakota East team has definitely had a very interesting season up to this point. They lost 2 tough games to open up this season. A very heartbreaking 2-point loss at St. X, and then a home loss at Princeton. Just a game where they really seemed like they hadn't found their groove yet. Just a game where everything just kind of seemed dysfunctional. They were not really playing fundamental basketball. And ever since then, they've just really picked it up. They've won 7 in a row. Ever since they gotten into GMC play, they kind of had a couple cupcakes, for lack of a better word, to start the GMC. I mean, they beat Coleraine, they beat Fairfield, but I really think the turning point for them was that win against Middletown, the game that we were at. And Middletown, obviously undefeated prior to that game. They play a very unique brand of basketball. They're a great team, and Lakota East just came out. They were more aggressive. They fought. Anytime Middletown tried to claw, they were just there. And then during winter break, they played in the Nature Coast Christmas tournament in Florida, where they actually won all 3 of the games that they played. So that's really just a great way for them to keep their momentum over the break and just kind of ride this 7-game winning streak that they're on into the return of conference play, and especially this rivalry game. And it's kind of almost too perfect of a storm, as you feel like everything's going right for Lakota East. They cannot get complacent. They just need to make sure that they're keeping the basics on tact and just really coming out and playing aggressive here against the Firebirds tonight.
Yeah, you touched on a bunch of great points there. Thunderhawks coming into this game, they are red hot. Like you said, 7 games in a row, if I'm correct?
Yep.
Yeah, and that's incredible momentum to have in this game here facing your rival Lakota West. But that Christmas tournament, that's a big win as well. Big 3 wins, actually, to take that tournament home. Obviously, that hardware will be arriving at East here soon. But after that game, not sure if you saw on Twitter, the team, it's their Christmas tradition after they play in that tournament to go to Waffle House and enjoy some meals after the game. That's fun stuff. And again, we get back to talking about just a team mentality, just them all enjoying themselves, definitely being down there in Florida as well, enjoying the beach, that kind of thing. But you also talked about beating Middletown, and like you said, we did stream that game. And that was a huge one. Coming into that game, we knew it would be difficult. What do you think East did well in that game to win?
Well, I think they just play disciplined basketball. Middletown is just one of those teams that has all athletes. They are going to try to outrun you, out-physical you. They're going to try and intimidate you. They're not really great on offense, but they are obviously statistically the best defensive team in the GMC. At least they were at the time. But Lakota East, I just think they came out. They knew what they were facing, and they just did not back down. They didn't crumble. They just continued to play their game, and they kind of, in a way, made Middletown play their game. And Middletown is a team that is not used to playing from behind, and they are not built to play from behind. And the Hawks got off to a hot start that game and just never really looked back.
Yeah, and that's just huge for this team. Well, looking at something else is common opponents between the Thunderhawks and the Firebirds. We'll start, the Thunderhawks took on Xavier their first game of their season. That was a tough one, dropped a tough loss. Wes will be traveling there here soon.
Yeah, they will, and it'll be an interesting matchup for sure. I mean, obviously, you think of blue bloods in the Cincinnati area, really in any high school sport. And I know West obviously more new in the basketball program area, obviously, than football. But, I mean, still, you take that rivalry from football. I mean, these teams know each other. And I don't want to call it another East game because I don't think it would carry as much momentum just because, I mean, you put the two districts, the district schools together. I mean, they're gonna lock horns a little bit more, but I mean it is still going to be a very physical game. I think there's a lot to be learned from how the Bombers played the Thunderhawks, so it'll be interesting to see how this team studies up on film and then takes that to St. X, and we'll see what they can do.
Yeah, definitely interesting stuff there. Another one of the commonalities, almost flip-flopped. Lakota West traveled to the Cintas Center to actually play a game. What was that like?
Yeah, it was a great experience for us, if I'm being honest. Being able to watch a game from the 700 WLW booth, and obviously for me, I think it was, very exciting for me to call a game from that booth and in such a large arena. I've been privileged to travel to a couple of those large spots now, and I would say every game has been very much the same as far as what the players have been feeling before, at least from my perspective. It looks like they all feel the same. Like I called a game at Fifth Third a few years ago in the playoffs against Centerville, felt the exact same at the Cintas Center. These guys just wanted to get on the hardwood. They wanted to run fast. They wanted to move, all over that. They wanted the, layups, three-pointers, you name it. They were doing all that stuff before the game. They just wanted to get it out of their system so they could hit the floor and be focused. But, I mean, all of that energy that they had, it translated to a big win against the Fairfield Indians. It headlined the night, 7:30 the tip-off time for that one, and they put on a show. It was a little bit close. Obviously, Fairfield has had their struggles early on in the GMC. I mean, really as a whole, I believe they only have 2 wins still to this point in the year. But, West was able to get the job done. The energy at the end of the day didn't neutralize things. They were finally able to put their heads down, get to work, and they got the win at the Cintas Center.
Yeah, definitely exciting stuff. I actually tuned in at the stream myself. We were off that day. Obviously, go check these guys out. Nick Johnson, Lakota West broadcast, good stuff. But the Thunderhawks will also be traveling to Cintas Center. They're traveling there a week from Sunday. They'll take on Covington Catholic. That'll be a big game for the Thunderhawks.
Yeah, that definitely will be a big game for the Thunderhawks. And you just talked about playing at Cintas Center and how that kind of feels and getting on the hardwood and running. I mean, those are just the type of opportunities as a high school basketball player that you cannot take for granted. I mean, getting to go on a D1, a very well-known D1 team's court and just being able to play in front of all those fans, however it shows up, it kind of makes you feel like you're in college in a way. And I just feel like it's going to bring out a different kind of energy and atmosphere for these guys. And I think it's something that they'll definitely remember for a very long time.
Yeah, remember for everybody, whether that be the crowd or the players themselves. And we'll, of course, be covering that game in the same spot West was just a week ago. But next, let's have a look at some of our key players here for tonight. Obviously, some big ones out there. And we'll start with the Thunderhawks and Trey Perry.
Yeah, Trey Perry is obviously the Thunderhawks' best player. I don't think that's really up in doubt. The Thunderhawks are a very good offensive team in terms of just their scoring and how much they pass the ball, move the ball. They do play great team basketball, but, most of their scoring, it's really no secret that they want Trey Perry to obviously kind of control everything and be kind of the guy that when the Hawks need a bucket, he's going to go get. He's averaging 25 points per game, which is by far first in the GMC. We've just seen this kid grown into something special. He's been starting on varsity since he was a freshman, and just he's brought some incredible stuff to the Hawks this year, and really he just feels like there's no slowing him down.
Yeah,
got that kind of confidence.
Trey Perry, definitely one of those impactful players, one of the best out there. You did touch on it, leading the GMC in points per game, and he leads the Hawks so well, so efficiently. You see him out there on the court, he makes his impact known for sure.
Yeah, he definitely makes his impact known on the court, and if you've ever met him off the court or talked to him in that way, just you can see why everyone follows him and why he plays so well and why he's so disciplined. I mean, just hardest worker in the room type of guy, very respectful, and great man first, and then just also a great basketball player.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. We'll talk about keys to the game a little later on, but that's definitely going to be something to watch, how this West defense is able to adjust to the guard combo that East has working for them. Because, I mean, you look at Trey Perry, he doesn't have a game on the season where he scored less than 20 points in a given game. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with tonight, especially with this energy. I mean, it's looking like you can't stop Perry. You can only hope to contain him. So it's kind of looking like that's going to be the fun thing. West defense, how that new play style, how that speed is going to be able to help them against Trey Perry.
Yeah, and you mentioned there, I couldn't have said it better myself. Just try to hope to contain him. That's what the Firebirds will have to do tonight. But look at the Firebirds. Who will the Thunderhawks have to contain tonight?
Yeah, well, there are a couple of guys. It's a little bit different from last year where you had Nathan Dudukovic. He was by far and away the leading scorer. He was, leading all kinds of GMC stat categories. It's not so much like that this year. There are a lot of guys, I don't want to say little guys, because they all have huge contributions of their own. Each guy kind of has their moment to shine, their game. But I will say one of the bigger names has been Isaiah Meade-Moss by far and away. And yeah, he is the coach's son. And I know when he came over, a lot of people were, I don't want to say flashbacks to certain stereotypes that you have of the coach's son. He has earned his spot in this lineup. I mean, when he goes out there on the floor, you can feel his presence. He plays with all kinds of energy. He's very consistent, which is something you need at the high school level. You got to be consistent in all phases of the game. He's able to do that. He leads the Firebirds in scoring with nearly 10 points per game. I mean, he's able to do it all. He is all over the floor, and like I said, you're going to feel him. He is a big reason that these Firebirds have been able to play that fast pace of basketball.
Yeah, and that's just huge for the Firebirds. He brings that energy almost like Coach Moss does, bringing the team together, just keeping them together, keeping them strong, and that's huge for a basketball team.
Yeah, and it was actually a very big moment. He won that player of the game at the Cintas Center, and he took a picture with his coach, his father, at midcourt at the end of that game, and it was a very touching moment to be able to see. Obviously, they both move over to a new school, new basketball system, what they've been able to do. It really symbolizes, okay, this season it's underway. West is starting to find their way in things. He's getting off and going. Moss is leading his team. They're getting off and going. It's been a fantastic start.
Yeah, exciting stuff there. Looking at both of those players from East and West. We'll take a quick step aside. We'll join you back for the pregame show. Back to Main Street here at Lakota West High School. Here for the pregame show, Colin Kunz, Nick Johnson from Lakota West broadcast, Camden Braden, my analyst for Lakota East broadcast. You know, it's just about that time. 7 o'clock, JV is finishing up. It's about time for our game picks. So we're going to take a look at some of the games tonight. All tipping off at, of course, 7:30, just the same time as this Lakota East versus Lakota West game. And we're going to start with Oak Hills at Hamilton. Nick, get us going.
I'll say this before we get into that one. It sounds like we got a game going in there. 6 minutes left, tightly contested. I believe, if I heard correctly, tied game in there with 6 minutes to go, too. So I think that's an indication of what we have to come here tonight. But, I mean, you take a look around the GMC, like you said, some good games. As far as that one goes, I'd have to give the edge to Hamilton. Both teams have been pretty consistent, on pace with each other performance-wise. Vegas gives the home team a few points. I'm going to take Hamilton because of it.
Yeah, I got to agree with you there. I think Hamilton is definitely the right choice. You know, Oak Hill's currently 1-4. They got a couple of guys. I think they could keep it close, maybe, like you said, but I think Hamilton takes it.
Yeah, I mean, all GMC games are going to be close, but I really do think it's going to come down to home court advantage there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to agree with you guys right there. I'm going to be taking Hamilton. Oak Hills is a team that has really struggled outside of inside conference play. They're 5-4 overall, but only 1-4 in the GMC, and it seems like things just aren't really looking up for them right now in conference play, so I'm going to go with Hamilton.
Yeah, so everyone going with Hamilton there. Next, we're going to take a look at Fairfield at Mason. Nick, what do you got in that one?
Yeah, well, Fairfield, obviously, you take a look at their past and what they've been able to do, all the GMC trophies they've taken over the past few years. Not the case this year. I mean, I don't want to say I'm rooting for them in this game just to, kind of get back to where they once were because, that's any sport, especially at the high school level. I mean, you get that rotation in there of who's on top, who's kind of rebuilding, for lack of a better word. But I really do think Mason is going to take this one. Obviously, like I said, kind of want Fairfield to get back on track just for their own sake because I don't think they deserve to have the season that's coming their way. But Mason is a solid basketball team, and right now Fairfield just doesn't seem to have it. They're coming off that loss at the Cintas Center to the Firebirds. I think Mason's just set up better to win it.
Yeah, you're going with Mason there. I think I could agree with that. Fairfield team seems a lot worse on paper than they could be. They're 1-4 as well, but that's not really that bad of a team. They graduated some seniors. That's a little difficult, but this Mason team is red hot right now, picking up a bunch of wins, just stringing them all together. That's pretty huge. I think it could be evenly matched, but I think Mason takes it.
Yeah, and I think, again, I'm going to have to agree with both of you guys right there. Fairfield, obviously, like you said, historically very good. They've all the GMC championships that they won, and I think, starting 2-8 this year, I think for a team that had high expectations, it can be very discouraging for them. And while you definitely can see them getting back on track at some point, I don't think they'll do it tonight against Mason, who definitely has a lot to play for tonight. So I'm rolling with Mason.
Yep. So again, everybody going with Mason. Next, we'll take a look at Princeton at Middletown. What do you got there?
Yeah, both of these teams, off to interesting starts in their own. But, I mean, Middletown, like you said, they're a one-loss team as it stands. Princeton is not a bad basketball team. They've had their ups and downs this season for sure, and I know there have been a couple of questionable downs. And, taking on Middletown tonight, I think the consistency is going to win it. Middletown is more consistently good than Princeton is more, I guess, consistent as a whole. Because, like I said, they've been very up and down. Middletown's going to take this one, I think, with relative ease.
I'm actually going to have to disagree with you on that one. We'll have our first disagreement of the night. Middletown, they look good, obviously sitting atop the GMC with that one loss being, of course, the Thunderhawks. But Princeton is a good team. They beat Sycamore. That's a big win. That's huge stuff for them. And they beat them rather decisively. Princeton also having a win over those Thunderhawks, that's a big point as well. I think if Princeton brings their A game, brings everything they have, they can take a win in Middletown.
Yeah, and for the rubber pick of this game, I think I'm going to have to agree with you, Colin. Middletown, obviously a very good team, but personally I think that they're really not as great as their record shows. I mean, don't get me wrong, they are a good basketball team, but I just feel like getting that first loss, you never know how a team's going to respond to that after having a perfect season. And I feel like just with the way Lakota East kind of wasn't really intimidated by them and just I don't want to say they exposed them, but they definitely gave other teams the blueprint on how to beat Middletown. I think Princeton's a good enough basketball team to take advantage of that tonight.
Yeah, definitely. So spicing up there a little bit, Nick going with Middletown, both of us going with Princeton. We'll take a look now at Coleraine at Sycamore. What are you thinking here?
Well, I will say this. One of these teams has a Purdue commit. One team does not have a Purdue commit. And especially when you look at how Coleraine has been playing, Sycamore, I don't think there's any question about this one. As much as, again, I kind of like to root for these teams down at the bottom of the GMC in some of these games, as you can tell from a couple of the things I've said to this point. I don't think Coleraine stands a chance. As much as I would love to see them kind of spice up the conference a little bit, Sycamore's going to win this one easily.
Yeah, you said it there. Almost exactly what I was going to say. As much as I would love to cheer for Coleraine, they're sitting at the bottom of the conference. Sycamore is up there at the top. I'm going to have to go with the Aviators.
Yeah, and like you both mentioned, anything can happen in the GMC. Obviously, very tough basketball conference, but Coleraine has just looked absolutely atrocious this year, and Sycamore obviously nearing the top of the GMC, having Riley Burgess. I just feel like he's going to be too much for the Cardinals to handle tonight, and I really don't see Coleraine really even being close in this game.
So everyone going with the Aviators there. We have one last game on tonight, and it's the big game here, Lakota East versus Lakota West. Nick, what you got?
Well, I'll tell you what, I said this earlier, fundamentals is what wins you basketball in a lot of levels of the game, especially the high school level. I mean, you take a look at March Madness, what makes that special? You got a 16 seed and you got a 1 seed. 16 seeds stay in those games because they have the energy, they have the momentum, and also they execute. You look at some of those 1 seeds, sometimes they think they get a week off, they don't execute. It's all about fundamentals. That is the key of basketball at any level, and it's especially when you get a rivalry game like that tonight, it's what's going to decide this game. So I think it's going to be very, very, very competitive. If this JV game is any indication, it's going to be very close in that fourth quarter. I could see this game coming down to the possession arrow at the end of it all. I mean, I'm wearing the West stuff. I'm at West. I would probably get slapped upside the head if I didn't take West. So I think for my own sake here, I'm going to take West. But if it were up to me, I'd say this is going to end in a tie because I don't want to see either one of these teams going home sad at the end of the night. I mean, all this energy, I just want the good vibes to continue here in the West Side.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like the roof is going to blow off this place, whether it's just people walking in inside the gym right now. It is getting rowdy for that JV game. Of course, you're going with the Firebirds, your home team here. I'm going to have to definitely take the Thunderhawks. They're a team that's hot right now. They're rolling. Of course, like we talked about earlier, winning that Nature Coast Christmas tournament. This is a team that's hungry. This is a team that's ready to beat their rival, Lakota West. I think the Thunderhawks take it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there, Colin. They're a team that has a lot of assists on the year. And, I mean, Nick talked about taking teams lightly, but I just feel like with how emotional this game is going to be from the Thunderhawks based off what happened last season, and you saw what happened when they kind of took the West lightly in a way, I don't feel like that's going to repeat. I'm going Lakota East.
Yeah, and I brought in the 16-1 seed thing just to show energy. This is by far not a 16-1 seed game. I mean, this is about as tight as it gets in the GMC. I mean, obviously, West record a little bit on the lower side with some of the tougher games that they've had, but I think, this could be the get-right game that they need, and it would be an incredible get-right game when you're playing a district rival. So it'll be very interesting to watch what goes down on that hardwood tonight.
Yeah, definitely will be tight. Like you said, Thunderhawks third in the GMC, if I do recall correctly, and Firebirds fourth in GMC. So right there, back and forth, very close with each other. We are in for a really exciting game tonight.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one to watch. Glad I could be on the call with you guys. Obviously, it's fun to call it, just on the West broadcasting, but obviously when we get Lakota together, it really makes it feel more like an East-West game. I'm feeling the energy myself up here, Colin.
Yeah, I am as well. Like we said earlier, it feels like the roof is going to blow off this place. Everyone just milling around, moving around. This is going to be a great game. I want to thank you for joining us for the pregame show. Colin Kunz alongside Nick Johnson, Camden Braden. Want to make sure you stick with us. We'll be live covering the game. Myself as play-by-play, and these two, of course, as analysts here when we tip off at 7:30. Make sure to stick with us. And we welcome you to Lakota West High School. Colin Kunz here alongside Camden Braden, Nick Johnson from Lakota West broadcast. This is one packed gym for Lakota East versus Lakota West. One of the most packed gyms I've ever seen. We are in for a very exciting game tonight.
Yeah, obviously, like you mentioned, the first thing you said, a very packed gym. This is just obviously Lakota East, Lakota West. It's traditional. Everyone shows up for these games, but I don't think I've ever seen it quite like this, Colin.
Yeah, no, nothing like this at all. It is packed in here. No standing room even. All of these seats are filled. All of the edges are filled. This place is absolutely jam-packed.
Yeah, I mean, they said they were expecting a sellout. I wasn't expecting to see this even. I mean, you say sellout, you envision all these seats being filled, but I mean, my goodness, we're surrounded kind of like a fishbowl. I mean, we're being surrounded up here in this broadcast booth up here on the away side. I mean, with the first home game of this Coach Moss era, that Coleraine game, we saw an incredible showing from the student section, and this gym was full. But my goodness, tonight takes it to another level, Colin.
Yeah, definitely. Like we just keep reiterating, this place is so full. The energy in here will be unmatched tonight. It is going to be very, very loud.
Yeah, seems like some people got some standing room only tickets along with it.
No sellout, no doubt. Thunderhawks are the visitors today, so we'll get you started with their starting lineup.
They've been coming out as Trey Perry, this team's best player, just junior leader. And then out comes Tyler Bachman, senior, big contribution to this team this year. Derek Jackson, he's their big man. They got to look for him to play tough tonight. Luke Shaw had the game winner at Fairfield, and Bays Whelan playing that 5 spot.
This is a big lineup here for the Thunderhawks.
Yeah, well, we'll see West coming off the bench here now on their home floor, and you can feel the energy, the Red Sea getting loud. I mean, you hear the clapping. All the energy, all the momentum, it's kind of cultivated up to this point, and now they're getting set to take the floor. It leads off with one of the freshmen, the breakout talents that left those junior highs this last year. They finally arrived. It's something we've been saying on the West broadcast for quite some time now, and there's one of them wearing the number 0, Bryce Curry, the freshman 6'3" forward guard combo, and he'll be outside. He'll be out alongside his brother wearing the number 1, senior Bryson Curry, point guard for these Firebirds across many years of competition now. Wearing number 2 will be the senior 5'10" guard Isaiah Tyson, alongside Akeem Smith, who transferred back to the West Side after taking his junior year off and playing for the Hamilton Big Blue, and he will be out along junior forward LJ Green, wearing the number 22 tonight. His number has been known to fluctuate at times. He will be out at the number 22 tonight. That is a solid starting 5 for these Firebirds. We've seen a little bit of inconsistency from some of the lineups they've posted. This seems to be the 5 that Moss is most comfortable with, and that's exactly what you want. You want comfortability, you want familiarity in a game with this much energy and this much noise surrounding it.
Yeah, comfortability and familiarity, obviously a big point for both of these teams, both of these starting lineups, as both teams come out into their huddles here and we get started for the tip-off. This game, of course, brought to you by Lakota East Broadcast, but also in partnership with Lakota West Broadcast. Nick Johnson, where can they find you guys?
Yeah, they can find us on YouTube. LWHSBC is our @ or just type in Lakota West Student Broadcasting. We do what you guys do. We cover most of our basketball games. Obviously, we just got done with football season. That was a real fun one. You can also find us on Twitter @ LWHSBC. We'll be bringing you all the fun basketball action from this very same hardwood here at Lakota West High School.
Both student sections getting rowdy here, the Red Sea and the Hawk's Nest. Derek Jackson against LJ Green here for the tip-off, and we're underway at Lakota West High School. Immediately, tip-off goes out of bounds.
I tell you what, that was only a tip-off, and I think we felt the roof almost come off this place.
I know, crazy stuff there.
Yeah, saw the energy there from both guys early, just going after that ball, and ends up going to East.
Thunderhawks will get us started here on the west side. Trey Perry with the ball. Gets it over to Whelan. Thunderhawks gonna have to work to penetrate this Lakota West defense.
Yeah, you see West coming out initially in a man-to-man defense. Hawks are just gonna have to work it around and look for their best shot as they've done pretty much every possession they've had this season.
Whelan drive inside, thought about pulling it up, gets it over to Shaw now. Firebirds staying tough here, and there it is, there's a steal from LJ Green.
Yeah, LJ Green, there's that paint presence I talked about in the pregame show. I mean, he held his own against the Purdue commit and Riley Burgess as East gets the ball right back.
Yep, Bachman there has it now for the Thunderhawks. Back and forth, Whelan there thought about the jumper, decided to take it inside. Thunderhawks working a lot of movement early as Shaw there misses one just to the left of the rim. Red Sea letting him know it.
Yeah, and hopefully that's not one you see Shaw get rattled on, because he's a guy who the Hawks definitely need to play with a lot of confidence tonight. Like we mentioned during the pregame, just game winner at Fairfield and starting off the game on the wrong foot, but hopefully he can bounce back.
Of course, it wouldn't be an East-West game if we didn't notice 1-2 there in the black and white. Former Firebird and Derek Jackson. Obviously, you got to wonder what's going through his mind on his former home floor.
Yeah, this is absolutely a big game for him. You know, still getting used to the Thunderhawks. Played with us this season last year. Also, out there on the football field, you know, had a game against West there as well.
Yeah, Derek Jackson's definitely been a guy for multiple sports who has brought a great impact to Lakota East, and I think he's found a home here.
Firebirds, their longest possession so far. Thunderhawk defense staying tight on them. Found a little bit of a seam down low below the basket, up and in for the first points of the game.
And that's what West missed last year with Hakeem Smith playing for the Hamilton Big Blue, but he is back, and you can feel his impact right away. Senior year, all the development that he's had over the years, he's been a key piece to West's early success.
And absolutely huge there coming from him, getting the Firebirds on the board first, but Jackson up against the glass, ties up the score here early.
Yeah, that was just a very high IQ pass there by Whelan, finding the cutting Jackson down low. Very athletic move to get position and get the easy layup right there.
Even score here at Lakota West High School. Tyler Bachman defending. Drive inside, kicked out, jumper, here goes. No good though. That one rattles in and out. Thunderhawks working quickly in transition. Now it'll take a minute to slow it down. Jackson gets it over to Perry. Thunderhawks trying to find a little bit of room. This Firebirds defense not letting up. Bachman there, a lot of contact on the near put up.
Yeah, Bachman definitely had the right idea there on the pump fake. Got West to kind of overcommit and a great job drawing the foul. While we have a moment here, I'd like to check in on our keys to the game here for the Thunderhawks. First and foremost, take their will early. West definitely is a team that needs to get a statement win, as they really haven't been able, they feel like they haven't really been able to get that so far this season. Hawks need to play fast but controlled. You know, play fast, live up to the energy, but don't turn the ball over. And speaking of turnovers, they need to win the turnover battle. Can't be, just like on that first possession, we can't be seeing stuff like that tonight. And we need some contributions outside of Trey Perry. Great offensive team, but obviously he's been kind of the best.
And he said it touched on all those points, all huge things for the Thunderhawks if they want to win this game. It's a stout Firebirds team with new head coach Kelvin Moss.
Yeah, stout Firebirds team indeed, and I'm interested to see what kind of looks we'll be getting from them tonight rather than past years.
Whelan will take a three himself. That one's good. Huge shot from Baze Whelan, the senior.
And we have seen Baze Whelan contribute as a three-point shooter, and you really can't judge his size for the fact of him being able to shoot, because he's a great guy who can fill in right there for Perry whenever he's being
Nice
guarded.
pass there, setting up for Curry. Now down low to Green. Green puts that one up, back and in. Nice behind the back shot.
And that was a good save in my mind on that West possession. You can see Bryson Curry in a bit of trouble there early on, makes the right decision, finds his brother in the corner, and then eventually LJ Green using his size and athleticism inside.
A lot of movement there from Bachman, kicked it out to Shaw. He made a drive inside, takes the floater. 7-4 Thunderhawks.
Yeah, and that's just a great response there by Shaw after the first air ball. Bachman drove into the paint and drew all the attention to the defense to him, and he was just able to find Shaw wide open. Great job right there from the Hawks.
Bachman up top, defending Curry between the circles. Firebirds now working over to Tyson. Back to Green up top. The Birds maybe discombobulated for a second, but able to get back on top of it. Firebirds finding a little room there, and if you really thought about the shot, kicked all the way over to the other opposite corner, drive inside, down low, put up foul.
And once again, just LJ playing with his physical mindset, drawing that contact inside there. He's not exactly a guy that you would choose to send to the line. He is only hitting 50% of his free throws, but he's had a good number of them, and he's definitely getting hotter as this season moves on.
We'll see what Green can do here at the line.
And if you're D-Jack and Baze Whelan here, then you just got to be careful. He may be a guy you want to send to the free throw line, but you can't get into foul trouble. This is not a very big Hawks team, and those are really the guys that they need.
Green does make his first to bring the score within 2 in favor of the Thunderhawks. Green now trying for his second. That one good as well, 2 for 2. 2 nice shots from LJ Green.
It looks like Ty Smyers is in the game right now, so his first game back from that fractured ankle. He's definitely a guy that brings rebounding to the Hawks.
We saw Trey Perry there with a huge 3. That's one of his specialties. Maybe the Thunderhawks adding a little more to that lead.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking about in pregame. You can only hope to contain him. You can't give him the look he just got from beyond the arc. That's an easy 3 points for Trey Perry and the Thunderhawks.
There is Ty Smyers, like you just mentioned. Very deep three coming there from Curry. No good. Or Tyson, sorry. Just very deep on that one. Gives the Thunderhawks the ball back. Jackson will try a three himself. No good off the back iron.
Yeah, and like we mentioned with the fast pace of play, you're seeing it from the Hawks early. It's worked for them at times and at other times it hasn't, but those are just the type of looks you want if you're Jackson. They will fall.
Yeah, not afraid to shoot the ball at all this team. Is the Firebirds take a three-pointer, but that one no good.
Yeah, that's one of the early struggles that we've seen, especially in that Sycamore game. These West Firebirds, shot selection, especially early on, has been their downfall in a lot of these big lead situations.
Trey Perry will go for another three. No good, just barely rattled out there. Looks like that one bounced off a Firebird and will stay with the Thunderhawks.
Yeah, and even Trey Perry having two guys on him, if you give him any sort of space, most of the time he's going to take that shot, and just right there didn't get the friendly roll.
Yeah, just unfortunate that one didn't fall. Looked good for most of the way, then just couldn't quite go all the way through. Thunderhawks, though, lucky it did bounce out on a Firebird, and we'll get another possession here.
See Elijah Perry check in. He's a guy that brings a lot of defense to the Thunderhawks.
Immediately there, a little bit of a careless turnover gives the Firebirds the ball, and Luke Adkins will make the foul. A little bit of a mix-up there with Smyers. You know, he's just, like you said earlier, getting back into the game. Just gave the ball there to the wrong person. Firebirds, Tyson Davis will be in to get the Firebirds possession started.
Yeah, and you see for the Hawks, P.J. McFarland checking in. He's definitely a great compliment off the bench to Derek Jackson. They have very similar play styles.
Maybe a little slick on the court there. Nearly didn't matter, but Green just barely misses another. It's been a very, very back and forth game so far. Trey Perry with a nice move there. Got him sliding just a little bit. Atkin gets it up top to McFarland. Thunderhawks doing a good job to work around that outer arc. Perry again gets it over to Smyers. Immediately gets rid of it. Elijah Perry to Trey Perry. Down low. Jumper, no good. Again, just bounces in and out.
Yeah, and like we said, the more looks that we can get Trey, the better, because those are shots that we have seen him make. And like I said earlier, you give him any type of space, and he's going to try and take advantage and create his own shot.
Josh Tyson giving it to Green up top. Now over to Davis.
Yeah, kind of adding on to what you were saying there for West, they needed to have a game plan for him entering this game, and you have to execute it. You can't rely on Perry missing those open looks, because you give him anything, he's going to take it and run with it. So it's been interesting to see how they've been able to adjust to him early on.
Big three there, and that one rattles down and in for Josh Tyson. Huge shot for the Firebirds.
Yeah, there's Josh Tyson, another one of these freshmen, the breakouts from the junior high that just arrived here at West. You can feel their presence already, and that's just one example.
Ty Smyers there with a big body.
Yeah, and you saw Smith right there trying to draw the charge, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Tyler Bachman will check back into the game for the Thunderhawks. Smyers will go out. Looking decent so far. Atkins maybe just trying to get him out there, getting warmed up to it.
Yeah, and he's definitely not a guy. I mean, with him being a game time decision, you can imagine that his ankle was still sore, so probably just trying to take it easy out there, but nonetheless still making a contribution.
With that, the Firebirds will take a timeout. Make sure to stick with us. We'll be back in just a moment.
What was the call there? I missed it. Both teams still have 5.
Back now inside a packed Lakota West Firebirds gym. Crazy game we've had so far. Firebirds have it within 1, 9-10 here early in this game.
Yeah, and you've definitely seen the aggression and the passion on display here early for both teams. Just a couple fouls, couple hustling for loose balls, and you do like to see both teams coming out and playing that brand of basketball here in a rivalry game. We're in for a great game here tonight, guys.
Yeah, definitely incredible stuff so far, what we've seen. Man, it's just only the first quarter. Officials talking to Coach Adkins right now. Firebirds taking maybe just a second. They're still trying to get everything all sorted out here. Looks like they got it all good. Tyson Davis will be on to inbound the ball. Gets it in to get the Firebirds possession started again.
Yeah, it looks like the Hawks are coming out in a 2-3 look here, but let's see if they get out of it once the possession starts. And it looks like, yeah, we're going to get 2-3.
Thunderhawks have run this a couple times this year. It's been hit or miss.
It's definitely a defense that they like to run whenever they have Elijah Perry up top, because he's a guy who is definitely very good at jumping the passing lanes.
Yeah, but Tyson finding a little bit of a crease there, making that three-pointer. Nice shot coming from him.
Yeah, Josh Tyson, again, as I mentioned before, obviously one of the breakout freshmen, but also very consistent, one of the more consistent guys on this Firebird roster. 3 11-point games for him. He's already up to 6 here on the hardwood tonight.
Thunderhawks now down 2. We're going to cut back on that deficit, maybe tie it up. 18 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Trey Perry has it on the outside, looking to make a move. Trey Perry gets it back out. Firebirds not letting him get anything. Still has it around the outside. Gets it over to McFarland now. 5 seconds to go. Bachman will take the jumper. No good. Again rattles out for the Thunderhawks. McFarland on the rebound, but won't matter. Gets it to Adkins. Chucks one up. That one no good.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, they are not letting Trey Perry get anything. Just screens, dribble, handoffs, all of that. They are not being fooled. They are making sure that they have bodies on Trey Perry at all times.
And that one will conclude our first half here from Lakota West High School. Firebirds take the lead, 12-10. Don't go anywhere. Back here, Lakota West High School. Thunderhawks will get us started for the second quarter. Firebirds up 2 after a couple of late shots. Thunderhawks immediately looking to fire back on that. Perry gets it over to Wieland. Back out to Wieland. He'll go for 3. Jackpot. Great shot from Wieland again.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see from Wieland. That's his second 3 here early. And like we mentioned earlier, with how much they're collapsing on Perry, it'll be vital for him to get going from beyond the arc.
Thunderhawks now back up 1. Very back and forth game like we said it would be. Up top, Shaw defending, gets it over. Now Bachman on the defense. Drive inside for the Firebirds. Tyson gets it over to Davis.
Mead Moss is out there in the corner for the Firebirds. He came on late in that first quarter. He's still out on the floor now. Look for him to make an impact here on this possession.
Firebirds still trying to find something. Haven't gotten anything inside at all. Maybe a little bit of a movement there. Big burst of speed coming. Shot up. That's a tough shot. No good, though. Perry quickly moving in transition. He wants to go all the way. Takes the jumper. No good there as well.
Yeah, we've seen Trey Perry be very good in transition at times. And right there, just getting the one-on-one look he wanted. Just didn't follow that time. It's been rough going for him early, but have to imagine he'll find his groove.
Lots of transition basketball here. Firebirds took it back quickly there. Looks like a foul will be called.
It looks like it's going to be an offensive foul on Jackson right there. And
yeah, just not one you want to give up to the Firebirds there. Just one of those easy mistakes. Not many we've seen tonight, just maybe the one from earlier. Firebirds do inbound it. Curry now has it up top. Taking it over around the outside on the left wing. Green now got it. Firebirds working it around efficiently here. Thunderhawks trying their best to keep it in their way. Harry making a stab at the ball there, no good. Maybe got Curry tripping a little bit. A lot of back and forth here. Find an open look on the outside. He'll take it. That shot no good. Too much. Harry again will move quickly in transition. Loses the ball though. That'll send it back to the Firebirds. They'll move. Long court pass. That one bounces in.
And there's Mead Moss, his first points in the score column today, and he gets a feed from Bryson Curry. And I do have something to correct here. Bryce Curry and Bryson Curry. I just learned this. They are cousins and not brothers, so that is my bad. That is false journalism on my end, but that's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, Curry cousins there. Definitely both ready to make an impact here on this court. Anybody with Curry can make an impact. Shaw will take a three. That one no good, though. Firebirds will get it back up one.
yeah, and I feel like if you're the Hawks right now, you're getting the looks you want. You're just, other than Wieland, it hasn't really been falling for anyone, but just keep running your offense and keep shooting.
Jackson one-on-one down in the paint with Green. Throws it up, but gets fouled in the process.
Definitely a very late whistle there, but I do think it was the right whistle.
Red Sea might disagree with you there. They're getting loud after that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just the late timing of the call, but you could see the bench jump up. You could see the student section obviously visibly upset about the call. I'm kind of with you. That contact there, it looked like a foul to me on that inside.
Wilson Jackson to the line. First time at the line for the Thunderhawks tonight.
Yeah, the Hawks are a very good free throw shooting team. Shooting about 80% as a team from the free throw line, as you see it at work right there with Jackson.
Now Jackson does make his first there. That ties us up yet again. The chance to add one more to take the lead. We'll pause here for just a second so Tyler Bachman can tie his shoe. Everybody can grab a quick breather.
I don't think there is such thing as a breather in this high-tension environment. I mean, even in the breaks, it's still loud and it's packed. I don't think we can state that one enough.
Yeah, definitely is. Is Jackson there, nails his second. Both were good from the senior. Definitely both feel good shots like we talked about earlier, the former West player, Derek Jackson. Firebirds getting going on their possession again. See if they can take the lead right back.
Bachman being very aggressive with the hands right there, looking to generate a turnover.
Firebirds moving in from the boundary towards the center. Tyson's got it up top. Jackson defending. Is he going to make a move on him? Gets him with a nice pullback. Puts it up, no good though. Wieland will head back for the Thunderhawks. Harry handing off to Bachman. Bachman now directing traffic just a little bit. Wieland gets it back to Perry up top. We'll see what the Thunderhawks have drawn up. Perry not getting any room there on Curry. Trying to find something, a lot of contact there with the arm. Wieland looking for a man open, gets it down to Bachman. Now back out to Wieland. Back to Bachman now. Ball between the two. Wieland had an open look for a second, decided to give it to Perry for three, and that's a three from way downtown.
Yeah, and you saw them trying to commit to Wieland on the three ball because he's hit a couple so far, but just kind of forgot about Trey Perry in that process, and you just gave him an open three right there.
And with that three, we'll take a quick timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll join you back in just a moment. Back here inside Lakota West High School, out of the timeout. Thunderhawks take 4-point lead. 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the second quarter. It's been explosive from both sides so far. As there is an open look down low, Perry over the top of him. Still able to put it back up though, and that's a nice shot for Bryson Curry.
Yeah, big recovery there from Curry on the inside, and I was just getting ready to say the deficit there was only 4 points before that easy two. But, I mean, it feels like a lot more in the eyes of some of these Firebird fans. They're definitely aching to get back into this one and make it tighter because you can never give up too big of a lead to your district rival.
Perry there again from way outside the arc. No good. Looks like Elijah Perry knocked that ball out.
Yeah, and you start to feel like Trey Perry, that was kind of a heat check a little bit because you do see him take shots like that all the time, and it almost feels like he's the only one on this Thunderhawks team who has the green light to do that.
Yeah, that one, though, maybe a little too deep. Not sure what that was all about as a fumble there on the ball. Bachman trying to recover it. Green trying to find a man down low, but just a little too strong on the arm.
Yeah, and it looked like he just saw the guy cutting out of the corner of his eye and just got a little too trigger happy with the pass.
Yeah, he was coming in hot there. LJ Green, a catcher and first baseman for the West baseball team as well. That was that catcher arm right there. He was gunning somebody at second with that pass.
Definitely a baseball resemblance so right there.
After the out of bounds, Thunderhawks will get the ball back. Still up 2. Thunderhawks have been solid offensively tonight. We'll see if the dominance can continue here. Thunderhawks just trying to work that ball around the outside. Elijah Perry has it up top. Over to Bachman now. Drive inside, a little bit of a slip there. Firebird crowd maybe wanting a travel. Looks like instead we'll get a jump ball.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the court tonight, but we've seen a couple instances where players have slipped up right around that spot on both ends.
Yeah, that's that spot on that left side and on the right side of the court, just in that exact same spot almost. Maybe somebody has to get out there with the mop.
Maybe it'll be Coach Atkins.
Ty Smyers will check back into the game for the Thunderhawks. Saw time briefly earlier.
Yeah, and like we said, he is definitely one of the bigger contributors here for the Thunderhawks, or as you look at it on paper, he is, but looks like he's on a little bit of a minutes restriction tonight.
Yeah, and definitely good just to get him back in. I know he wanted to play in this game against fierce rival Lakota West.
Just credit to him doing everything he can to get out on the court tonight.
Firebirds chance to take the lead here or tie it up. Bachman wants to steal that ball away. No shot though. Firebirds keeping it controlled. Directing traffic is Tyson up top. Nice move behind the back there. Jackson nearly lost him. Maybe switched with Bachman. Jumper there, highly contested. That one no good. Green nearly on the rebound. Went through his legs. Perry's able to recover.
That is just a great hustle play right there from Elijah Perry. Jackson did not win that against Green, but Elijah Perry was right there to clean that up.
Trey Perry now, he'll take another deep three. No good there, too much. And wide open man down for Lakota West. Will he put it up? Rolls all the way around and out. You can't believe that one.
That was nearly coast to coast, cousin to cousin right there under the rim. That would have tied this one up too. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the half. That would have been a big one. And I could only imagine what the energy would have been like. That's so close yet so far.
Yeah, that one definitely had everyone in this building holding their breath for a second, but eventually ends up rimming out, and West will get another chance.
I was just about to say, holding their breath. Sounded like it got quiet here in the first time tonight as that thing rolled around the rim, and unfortunately for the Firebirds, rolled out. Firebirds do get that possession back, though. Tyson has it up top against Adkins. That's Luke Adkins, the senior. See if Tyson's going to try to make a move on him. Passes it off. Firebirds doing all their work up top tonight. Smyers on the defense now, trying to make a poke at it. Curry has it outside on Smyers now. Will make a drive to his left. Try to find a man down low, but Perry there to intercept it. Perry moving quickly, gets it over to Smyers. Smyers making a drive towards the basket, puts it up through a lot of contact, no good. Ball knocked away. Looks like that one will stay with the Thunderhawks.
Yeah, and that's one you're kind of surprised to see right there if you're the Thunderhawks. Just Ty Smyers wanting all the smoke right there, goes in for the layup, and
yes, Myers absolutely not afraid of any contact there, even with the ankle injury. Wanted all of it, but looks like Adkins will sub him out there in favor of Wieland. Thunderhawks, though, do still have the possession. Wieland will get them going. McFarland also back into the game here for these Thunderhawks. Perry there, a little angry, trying to move some guys around. Uland over to McFarland now. Now finds Perry inside. Now Perry to Perry. Elijah Perry for three. Rattles in. Nice shot.
And that was just a very high IQ play right there from Trey Perry. He knew even before he got that ball that he was passing it out to the arc for Elijah Perry. He was going to be wide open, and it pays off for the Thunderhawks right there.
We talked about the Curry to Curry connection just a second ago, but there's the Perry to Perry connection right there. Firebirds here looking to fire back. 30 seconds to go in this second quarter. Will they keep the ball for that last shot? Looks like they're stalling just a little bit of time here, taking it way up top at near the midcourt line. We clip under 15 seconds to go in this first half. Elijah Perry on the defense. Now McFarland picking him up. Not letting him get any room. Just under 10 seconds to go. Drive inside, behind the back dribble. Three-point shot, maybe. No good though. 2 seconds to go. No shot will be put up. And that will end our first half of action here from Lakota West High School. Definitely a very exciting one, as we knew it would be. Been very back and forth so far, but the Thunderhawks do have a 5-point lead here going into the half. Make sure you stick with us. Back here now in Lakota West High School for an exciting second half action here on this Lakota West versus Lakota East game. Thunderhawks currently have the upper hand, leading by 5.
Yeah, this is definitely a type of first half you'd expect from East and West, just very back and forth, and both teams playing with a lot of aggression. Let's see who can be the more aggressive team going forward, and whoever just has more will win will obviously win this game.
Yeah, definitely going to come down to who wants it more. Both obviously good teams, very closely matched. Thunderhawks, though, currently with the upper hand, looking to add to it. Tyler Bachman has it outside there, just tries to get it to Whelan, and it's tipped away in transition quickly, and a thunderous slam there from Bryce Curry.
Yeah, and that's just a little bit of a miscue right there from Whelan. Just dropped the pass, and Bryce Curry able to take it for a dunk.
Well, I'll tell you what, I almost said something coming out of half. That 5-point lead, that was the largest lead any team has had today. And I mean, we've seen 5 lead changes up to that point, but it felt like West was down by a lot more. And I think you can tell just from that one play alone what their headset or what their mindset is going to be like heading into the second half.
Yeah, definitely clearly composed here. Obviously ready as there is another Thunderhawk turnover. Trey Perry going down to the court hard.
Yeah, just a couple of bad turnovers here to open up the second half for the Thunderhawks. It's like we mentioned earlier in the game, they just got to win the turnover battle, and they are not doing that to start the second half.
It was 5-on-4 there for a little bit. Perry getting up slow, but he'll try and lay one in, and he gets it. He looks perfectly fine out there, adding to this Thunderhawk lead. And there another turnover nearly lost for the Firebirds, but able to corral it, Bryce Curry is.
And back to that fast break by Perry. He's obviously one of the best players we've seen at the high school level, just in transition, and right there able to get the layup.
Nearly another fumble, but turning it into a positive. Green lays one up and in.
That only puts LJ Green at 6 points in today's contest, but the impact he's had far larger than anything he's put in the stat column. I mean, he only went to the bench for a resounding minute and 10 seconds in that first half. He's been a big part of this Firebird team.
Bachman, though, able to hit a 3, stifle some of that Firebirds' confidence.
Yeah, and we talked about this Lakota East kind of rest of their lineup stepping up other than Parrott. We've seen a few from Whelan, and you see it right there from Bachman. They're able to get shots from other guys.
Firebirds now down 6, but a big drive to the rim there and a nice lay-in for number 2, Isaiah Tyson.
Tyson putting the spin cycle on him there, using that athleticism to find the bucket.
And we have seen West miss a couple of those tonight, so good. Sure, it's good for them to see one go.
Perry up top, he was giving his classic stare down, gets it over to Bachman, who gets it out to Whelan for 3. No good, though, too short. Firebirds moving quickly in transition here. Way up and in, no good. Shaw there trying to take a charge. Perry saving it from bouncing out that end line.
Yeah, in these last few possessions for the Hawks, we've seen very great ball movement, and it's resulted in their shooters getting wide open from 3.
Whelan there, thought about the 3, tried to get it to Perry, but he wasn't looking there for just a second. Now he's got it down low, working on Curry. Back over to Bachman. Shaw thought about the 3, changed his mind. Now Bachman's got it, and he'll slow it down. Thunderhawks here clearly not intimidated. Maybe just facing the difficulties here of this Firebird defense. Bachman will take it all the way, gets fouled, putting it up.
Yeah, just a great job right there from Bachman, using his athleticism and taking that in. Again, kind of looks like he was looking for the contact right there, but nonetheless, ref blew a whistle, and he's going to the line.
Thunderhawks here going to the line for a second time tonight. It'll be Bachman this time. It was Jackson the first, he made both. See what Bachman can do. First shot too strong there, Tyler Bachman. Taking a step back, practice his motion there. He's got a second one on the way. Like we said, only the 4th shot from the line here for the Thunderhawks tonight. This one is good for Tyler Bachman.
There are only 4 shots from the line in total in that first half. All of them were made. So, I mean, the fundamentals, I think, is something I was talking about in the pregame. That's something we're going to see come into play in the second half that we really have yet to see.
Yeah, and those fundamentals are huge, especially in a game like this. That's where it's win or lose. There's a 3-point shot coming from Tyson, and that one is good and through.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Firebirds struggled on that 3-point ball big in that first half. The shot selection wasn't quite there. You can tell they're playing it a lot more smart in this second half, and it's already starting to make an impact. Deficit gets cut to 2.
Shaw there will drive up. He gets it back to 4. The lay-in for the Hawks.
Yeah, and this man-to-man defense for the Firebirds, you saw it work at times in the first half, but the Hawks are starting to exploit at that and getting the matchups that they want off the switches, and Shaw just able to get position right there.
Some back and forth so far in this second half. See if the Firebirds can again keep it close. That Thunderhawk defense will step up. On a little bit of move, big run inside. That one again rolls all the way around and no good. Looks like that one bounced off the hand of Green and he's disappointed after that.
Yeah, that's a good job there by Bachman of keeping his hand up, and especially being behind him, it's really easy to foul him in that situation, but just a great job of not fouling him and giving him the right amount of space to not foul him, but also impact the shot.
Smyers again checking back into the game. He will inbound for the Hawks. See if he can make his presence known like he did in the first couple of games of the season. Immediately passing it down to Bachman. Bachman, who's missing a wide open parry on the left side. Thunderhawks will take the right route. Smyers there driving to the basket, throws it up, just too short. Firebirds moving quickly to fire back. Working on parry down in the paint, and that one, that's a big body shot.
I mean, when doesn't Hakeem Smith always have that quiet confidence about him? I mean, you see it right there. Drive into the paint, don't worry about who's on you, go up, play the basketball that you know. Taking it easy, too, for Hakeem.
Tyler Bachman there just loses the handle on it, flies out of bounds.
Yeah, I think a part of that is just kind of the shaky hands here that you start, especially as this game gets closer and we roll on a little bit more here towards the fourth quarter. You're going to see teams kind of have those beginning of the game jitters come back a little bit. We saw it from Wieland earlier, and you saw it right there from Bachman. Hawks just need to calm down and play under control. Bachman's going to the bench to get his mind right.
Yeah, Bachman there will go to get a breather there for just a second. Firebirds back here within 2 again. 3-point shot here for the lead. No good. Too short. Perry on the rebound. Perry using that speed going the other way. Kicks out to Shaw. That one bounced off of Smith's hands out of bounds. Smith doing a good job. Just get his hands in there and knock it away. Shaw will inbound after the knockaway. Try to continue the Thunderhawks' possession. Smyer has it at the top right of the court. Trying to take it in himself. Now gets it out to Elijah Perry. Perry gets it knocked away from him. Firebirds moving quickly on the other way. One-on-one down below the basket. Shot put up and it's good. We have a tie ball game.
Freshman having himself a game. He's on pace to have his 4th 11-point game of the season.
Josh Tyson looking like a veteran out there, being only just a freshman. Just a great play down in the paint, especially on Elijah Perry. And another turnover for the Hawks. Knocked away, 2-on-2 down low. Shot up and in, the Firebirds take the lead.
The turnovers and the transition defense are really killing the Thunderhawks right now. They need to get that together right now during this timeout, or this one could get ugly.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a really smart timeout, because during this game, we really haven't seen a big run for either side, and especially this late in the third period, if you're East, you don't want that to happen. West is just getting too hot right now. I think that's a fantastic call from the East bench.
Yeah, Coach Atkins there taking the timeout. You saw the Firebirds bench very fired up. All of them out on the court. With the timeout, we'll take a quick break. Back here in Lakota West High School, the Firebirds have taken a lead behind a couple of great possessions. They're up 2 with 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go here in this third quarter.
Yeah, and like we talked about before the timeout, it really is the correctable mistakes here for the Thunderhawks. Just the transition defense you haven't really seen over the past few possessions, and because of that, you know, it's just gotten West some momentum here towards the end of the third quarter. You definitely cannot have that if you're the Hawks.
Thunderhawks here looking to start rolling. They need it right now. Looking good so far, but a little demoralizing there after those couple of West possessions. You know these Firebirds are fired up right now. Trey Perry kicking out to Adkins for three. That one hits. Nice shot from Luke Atkins.
Yeah, and Luke Atkins is a guy who had a very rough start to this season from beyond the arc, but he is in there for his ability to shoot the three, and we've seen him pick it up over the past few games.
Huge three there to give the Thunderhawks the lead right back. Atkins now will defend down in the paint. Maybe we'll be able to a size mismatch, and Smith just wins that one all day.
Yeah, it's a safe, smart decision to take that two from the paint. Like I said, Akeem Smith with that confidence, that really is an easy do.
Perry firing a three there, but just a little off the mark. No good. Nice move coming from Tyson, bringing it up the court. Jackson able to throw his hand in and knock it away. That one did go out on Jackson, so the Firebirds will get their possession. 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Firebirds with a 1 point lead, a chance to add on some more here. Nearly an open look there on the corner. But down in the paint, he finds Green, and charge taken there for the Thunderhawks.
Yeah, and that's just a really smart play there by Jackson, knowing that he probably wasn't going to end up winning that battle down low. Just puts his body there and takes the charge, and results in a turnover, and Hawks getting the ball back.
Big move there to take the charge. Thunderhawks do get that ball back, a chance to take the lead going into this fourth quarter. Just under a minute to go here in the third. Bachman will get us started with a pass to Perry. Thunderhawks clearly taking their time, wanting that last shot. Perry trying to lose his defender, keep them on their toes. Back and forth here up at the top.
One thing I do want to note here as we approach the end of the third, we've only seen 9 total fouls this game.
As Jackson with a huge three to put the Thunderhawks up 2 with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, the Thunderhawks have gotten great contributions from really everyone beyond the arc tonight, and that's a big one right there for Derek Jackson to try and take the lead here before the fourth.
Beyond the arc shooting definitely huge for the Thunderhawks tonight. Firebirds, though, will get the last shot. Chance to tie it up or take the lead going into the fourth quarter. 5 seconds to go. Gets it down inside to Green. Bachman trying to defend.
Yeah, and like you mentioned right a little bit ago, Nick, we've only seen 9 total fouls tonight. You would have thought it would have been the opposite with how aggressive both these teams are playing tonight, but they're both playing smart basketball, and you got to give credit to both teams right here.
Yeah, and especially, I mean, you said it, a game like this, I would have thought it would have been a little bit more scrappy than any contest we've seen in recent memory, just given the atmosphere of this place. I mean, even with the football game, I wouldn't say it was as electric as this, and I mean, we still saw a few scrums.
Large corner three there, and he hits it. The freshman, Josh Tyson. That's about as big of a shot as you can hit there going into the fourth quarter. With that, the Firebirds will take a 36-35 lead. This game is in for an exciting finish. Make sure to stick with us.
What?
Back here inside Lakota West High School. Exciting fourth quarter of action coming up as we look at Westchester Township, here where Lakota West High School is situated. Of course, big game here in Westchester. Nearly everybody in Westchester is here in this gym tonight, it feels like.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, we have seen it from the pregame show and the tip-off. The atmosphere is just amazing here tonight, and the game has not disappointed at all.
Firebirds up 1 with a chance to add some more to that early in this fourth quarter. Let's see what they dial up.
West student section wants Tyson to take it.
Timeout quickly taken there from the West bench.
Yeah, and I think you can see the frustration on Moss's face right there. He did not want to blow that timeout, especially in a game that, I mean, evidently is going to be very tightly contested up until the end. I think he's just wanting to draw up his offense the best that he can, try and take advantage of this 1-point lead, add on to it. You got to get a strong start into these final 8 minutes.
Definitely huge stuff coming, needed to come from the Firebirds. Having that 1-point lead, they got hot at the right time. Thunderhawks are going to look to fire back. Cam, what do you think they need to do to fire back?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just need to keep working it around. Just no bad turnovers. Just utilize your pump fakes a little bit more and just get everyone rotating, because you've seen West jump on those opportunities that they've had, and they're going to keep being relentless here in the fourth quarter. So just make sure we're getting the best looks that we can take. There's no shot clock in high school for a reason. Take advantage of that and get your guys open looks. And Trey Perry, if you need to, go get a bucket.
Absolutely huge upcoming fourth quarter for both of these teams. Obviously a big game, tough rivalry like this one, and a crowd to match. A little bit of a mix-up here with the officials. Coming out of the timeout. Looks like everything's all squared away, and the Firebirds will inbound and get it in immediately to Green. Wide open man on the outside. Again, another shot from the same spot. It's Tyson.
Well, I know we were expecting some snow tomorrow, but I didn't know it was supposed to rain here tonight in Westchester.
Tyson letting him rip. He's been letting him rip all night. Just another one to add to his tally.
Yeah, and he's definitely heating up here in the fourth quarter, and you're definitely going to have to pay some extra attention to him if you're the Hawks.
Shaw will go for 3 to try to match. That one too strong, though. Perry with an athletic rebound, and now he'll muscle up in the paint, puts it up and in.
That would have been a big 3 right there for Shaw. He definitely got the look he wanted, but great job by Perry there on the long rebound and putting it back up.
Thunderhawks back down to 2, nearly a tip away there coming from Derek Jackson. Tyson has it up top. We'll see if he can continue his dominance on the night. Perry defending, nearly lost the ball. Now getting it inside, out to the corner. Green will take a 3. No good though. Wheeland with the easy rebound.
I'll tell you what, I myself am feeling some Final Four energy already as we approach the 6.5 mark.
Yeah, just an exhibition game, but feels like it's worth a whole lot more. Both teams playing their hearts out right now. As is evident by the score, Wheeland will take a 3, too strong though.
Yeah, and you really don't want to see Wheeland rush that shot. Just seemed like he kind of caught it and didn't really get his feet set before he shot it, and oversailed him right there.
West now with a chance to add to their lead. Thunderhawks looking for a turnover, a stop here as Wheeland gets one. He's going down, he'll put it up and in a block coming, but it'll be a foul.
Yeah, and that's definitely one right there from Wheeland. I mean, had a more athletic guy on him, but that's definitely one you want to see him stop and pump rather than just go up with, but lucky enough to get the foul drawn right there.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say now here comes that physicality late in this game. Now the rivalry starts to boil up.
It's definitely going to start getting more chippy as we get down here in the final minutes.
Wheeland with his first, that one's good. 1-point ball game. Wheeland's second will have a chance to tie it up. A lot of contact in the paint is what got him here. Like you guys said, that foul count will probably continue to go up as this game progresses. Wheeland, though, misses the second. Jackson on the rebound over Green, puts it up, no good. Jackson again on his own rebound, spinning, so much action under the rim. Thunderhawks able to get it out, though. Wheeland thought about the 3. Now gives it out to Perry.
And I think that was a smart play right there from Wheeland, and it pays off right there.
Perry finding Wheeland under the basket, wide open to give the Thunderhawks a lead.
And it's those second and third chance points that neither of these teams can afford to give up. Beautiful offense from the Thunderhawks there to take advantage.
See how the Firebirds are going to answer this one. They need a big now, and they'll do it with a drive to the rim. No good on that shot, though. Well defended by Luke Shaw. Perry has it and will slow things down for the Thunderhawks. Now using his speed on the left side, rolls it in, no good. Offensive foul.
Yeah, and that's one of those that you'll usually see Perry make, but right there just kind of not really getting the right angle on his wrist right there and oversail, but nonetheless, he's going to the free throw line.
Yeah, sorry, Perry there actually getting fouled. That, like you said, will send him to the line. Chance to put the Thunderhawks up 3. First shot, no good from Perry, a rare miss.
Yeah, and you really haven't seen the Hawks be as great from the free throw line tonight as they have been this season, but down here in the fourth quarter, those are definitely free throws that you've got to have.
Perry with his second one on the way. That one also no good. Firebirds able to get the rebound very close to the baseline on that rebound. A nice spin move there by Tyson. He'll lay one up. No good though. Green on the rebound, and he finishes the job.
Strong and one finish there for LJ Green. But, I mean, Josh Tyson putting Green in a beautiful position there. Looked like Tyson had a good drive himself. How many times have we seen that spin cycle tonight? But just a beautiful finish by LJ Green. That's the momentum the Firebirds needed to capture right here at that 5-minute mark.
Yeah, great work there by the Firebirds to get that energy back. Chance now to go up 2. As Green makes the point. 3-point play. Thunderhawks now back down to 5 minutes to go here from Lakota West High School. Ball turned over. Firebirds have it. Going the other way, it's 2-on-1 against Perry. Tyson puts it up and in, adding to that Firebird lead.
How many times have we called the freshman's name today? Stepping up when it counts.
Huge stuff there from the Firebirds, and they're rolling, but a kick ball is called on Hakeem Smith.
And you're definitely going to want to see the Thunderhawks settle down on this possession and just, like we've talked about before, they need to get their best look right now because it looks like West has definitely got the momentum on their side and definitely need to do something to silence that side of the room.
Thunderhawks seem almost a little discombobulated now at this point. Have had some runs where they've looked like that, needing some points here to get back into that rhythm.
And it all starts with Trey Perry and those shooters that they got out there right now.
Trey Perry definitely gonna have to lead this. Shaw has it up top. There, he turns it over. Now Tyson again in space. Shaw will go up, but won't contest. Firebirds 6-point lead.
And it has just been a mess of turnovers here from the Hawks, and you've seen West at their highest whenever they've gotten the Thunderhawks flustered and turning the ball over, and it's resulted in a 6-point lead here in the fourth.
Again, West thrilled with their lead. With the timeout, we'll take a quick break. Back now inside Lakota West High School. Firebirds with a 6-point lead. Big stuff coming from the Firebirds as of late.
Yeah, and like we talked about before the break, and really on that last possession, just we need to see the Hawks slow it down. They must avoid a turnover here at all costs, and you can't be putting up bad shots either. Just someone's got to go get them a bucket right now because their backs are against the wall.
Yeah, Thunderhawks absolutely needing a bucket right here. Bachman has it outside, trying to get past Tyson. Now gets up to Shaw. Shaw will take a 3, airballs it. No good, bounces out of bounds.
And I just don't think Shaw was expecting for Tyson to meet him there on his left side, and may have gotten to him a little bit as he sells that one short.
Unfortunately here for the Thunderhawks, nothing has been going their way as of late. It's been all Firebirds.
Yeah, no, what I think we're going to see here from West now is just how are they going to play on this momentum. I wouldn't be surprised if they already resort to running that clock just to add more pressure, but it'll be interesting to see their approach.
Looks like they're moving quickly now, gets it down below the basket. Looks like they'll slow things down. Firebirds clearly in no rush, want to take their time here if they can.
2-possession game is still nothing to ride home about if you're West, but I don't think anyone in the white is going to complain about running down that clock already.
Yeah, and you see them right there with their offense. They are being very conservative right now. And it doesn't look like they're really in a rush to do anything.
3 minutes, 15 seconds to go. This has been a long Firebird possession so far. Just keeping it up top. Coach Atkins not very happy right now. Smyers trying to defend. Curry has it up top. We clip under 3 minutes. Smyers will go up trying to double. Bachman there gets fouled trying to knock the ball away.
Yeah, and I just feel like Bachman was kind of playing a little bit of hero ball right there. Just obviously a very long possession for the Firebirds and trying to bring it to an abrupt end right there, but just got a little too handsy.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is where the debate comes into play, and I would argue I'm in the minority here when I say this is why high school basketball needs a shot clock, or at least in certain situations, at least give the boys 30 seconds, because in these high-tension games, you don't want it coming down to this.
Yeah, and I would fully agree with you right there, Nick, because you see West just wasting the clock, and nobody's forcing them to take a shot. They can hold the ball for the rest of the game if they want to.
West there holding it a little bit in their backcourt. Coach Moss will take a timeout. We will as well. Make sure to stick with us for this final 2 minutes and 48 seconds of action. Back here inside Lakota West High School, coming out of the timeout. Thunderhawks still down 6. Firebirds have the ball.
Yeah, and if you're the Thunderhawks, you just need to get a turnover right now because you know West is going to try and look for their best shot right now, and they're going to have zero problem here and and there is the turnover.
Perry and Smyers applying some pressure, forcing that turnover. Green thought he had it. It's too short, goes to Bachman. Perry will take a 3. No good though. Thunderhawks need the rebound, but bounces off the hands of Elijah Perry.
And those are just one of those from Trey Perry that you're used to seeing him make in that situation. That's not a bad look by any means, just hasn't been able to get it to fall tonight.
Yeah, and I would call that pure luck there on the West side end of things. I mean, like I said earlier, you can't rely on Perry to miss shots, but also that turnover, absolutely careless to make a pass like that in this stage of the game.
Firebirds just needed to chuck that one all the way across the court. Ended up working out for him. Curry was able to corral it. Tyson now passes to Curry. Jackson applying some pressure. Firebirds again in no hurry, but Smith will take the job in the paint, and he gets it. That is huge for the Firebirds.
And that's the big score. That turns it into a 3-possession game, one you need, although they take it right back there.
Yeah, and that's a big one right there from Perry, just going in and getting a bucket as he needs it.
Perry put it up. Tyson tried to stab it against the glass. Thunderhawks, though, with another turnover, finding Smyers in the paint, puts it up and in, and things are starting to roll for the Thunderhawks.
Yeah, and you know that Perry wanted to take that shot, but ultimately great on him taking the smart play and finding Smyers wide open down there in the paint.
Green now on the other side, lays it up and in.
Good look there for the Firebirds. I was kind of worried for a moment. I was hoping Moss would take a timeout, and now we got a stoppage in play here.
And that's a terrible turnover right there from the Hawks.
Just an absolute miscue. Bouncing
reason.
off the hands of Bachman. Just didn't see it at all.
No reason to do that right there.
Giving the Firebirds the ball back, no problem.
Now you're definitely going to see that clock start to come off the scoreboard. Back to a 6-point lead. Again, still 2 possessions, but now with a minute and a half, you definitely have freedom to run with that clock.
Thunderhawks need something to go their way, and there it is. Hakeem Smith turning it over, but the Thunderhawks turning it right back. And again, the Firebirds knocking it away. Did Bachman have a hand on it? No, he didn't. It'll be Thunderhawk ball.
And the Hawks got really lucky on that one because, again, you see another careless turnover right there by the Thunderhawks and Elijah Perry, but fortunately for them, they're able to get it back.
I think we're to the point in the game now where pure emotion is taking over because you can't explain some of these decisions the way these turnovers just keep falling one after the other.
Yeah, and you're seeing it on both sides. Who's going to stop turning the ball over first?
Yeah, it was turnover city there on those last couple of possessions. Perry with a way deep 3, obviously short. Smyers, though, able to get the rebound. Now able to find Bachman with some space. That one's short as well. Smith gets the rebound, getting it down to Green.
And Perry was mad that he didn't get that one. He was calling for the ball, and Bachman decided to take the shot.
Looks like a foul will be called on Green at midcourt.
Thunderhawks 2 away from putting the Firebirds in the bonus here. That one looked a little bit intentional to me. I'll be curious to see if they already resort to that with 60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, almost starting to seem like that. Thunderhawks, though, still only a 2-possession game, 1 minute, a lot of time left.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to put the ball in the hands of West shooters right now, but sooner or later, you've got to start playing the foul game.
Or force a turnover, but they don't find one here. That's an easy put-in for Nedokovic.
See, and that's just what you can't have. If you're having too much pressure and you allow someone to make that backdoor cut, I mean, that's just an automatic 2 points right there, and it speeds the game up. And again, you just really can't have that.
Green now on the other side, one-on-one against Jackson. Gets it to Nedokovic again, puts it up. Jackson on the block. Looks like a foul will be called.
And you're just seeing everything unravel there by the Thunderhawks. Derek Jackson was the only one who was hustling back on defense right there. Everyone just sat there and watched for a second and then kind of started jogging back. West wants it more right now, and they are showing it right now with the way they are.
30 seconds to go. 8-point lead for the Firebirds. Red Sea already waving goodbye. Nedokovic makes it 9. Thunderhawk crowd starting to clear out of Lakota West here.
Before that first shot from the line, Nedokovic yet to take a free throw on this season, but I'll tell you what, he definitely does have that Nedokovic clutch gene that this Firebird team is used to.
Yeah, big free throw there. That one maybe nearly icing it. This one probably will fully do it, make it a 10-point lead, 30 seconds to go. And he does. Thunderhawks just haven't performed well down the stretch. Gonna need quick succession shots here. Adkins getting it down to Jackson. The Firebirds will let him have that one all day. Coach Adkins will take a timeout.
Yeah, like you mentioned, you'll take that one all day if you're the Thunderbirds. And things looking pretty bleak here with 25 seconds left, but let's see what Coach Adkins can draw up, see if they can really get them back in this game.
We'll stick with you through the timeout. Just want to invite you to like and subscribe right now to Lakota East Broadcast. This stream put on in partnership with Lakota West Broadcast. Where can they find you guys, Nick?
They can find us at LWHSBC on Twitter as well as YouTube, or just type in Lakota West Student Broadcasting. Cover a lot of the Lakota West basketball games. Obviously just got done with the big football season. That was very fun to cover. Also just got done with the Cintas Center game against Fairfield. That video is still up for those who want to go check that one out. That was a fun contest in Norwood.
Yeah, incredible stuff coming from the programs recently. The Thunderhawks will travel to Cintas Center a week from Sunday. That's the 14th. We'll be covering that game as well. Excited to be there. Just a whole lot of success from these two broadcast programs recently.
Yeah, that football pregame show was fantastic. And I think today was by far and away my favorite pregame show I've ever done. That set out on Main Street.
Yeah, it was fun stuff. The energy there just being out on Main Street was phenomenal. Obviously, everyone here cares about this game. It's East versus West. Everybody's locked in. We'll see if this one does go in favor of the Firebirds. Looking like it here. Nedokovic under the basket. He's just adding to his stat line there. 20 seconds remaining in this game.
And there goes that clutch gene I was just telling you about. Back to a 10-point lead, like you said, and now loose ball.
And it looked like that fast break layup right there was coffin nails for the Thunderhawks, and you're just seeing them kind of try and push it, but down by 10 with 12 seconds left, there's really not much you're going to be able to do.
Yeah, this game's seeming just about over from Lakota West High School. Thunderhawks staying in it for a long time, but West just getting hot at the right time. Perry will just take a three. That one gets blocked. 8 seconds to go. Most likely we'll just hold it. Well, Firebirds still moving. Thunderhawks still trying to apply some pressure. Now we'll hold it. And Curry, or Tyson will go celebrate with that bench, or with that student section. The entire bench joins him. And the Firebirds just take a huge game here at home against the Thunderhawks.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, I mean, you said it there. It's a huge win. It's a much-needed win for this team. But if I'm Coach Moss, I'm going right into that locker room and say, hey, boys, settle it down. That was round one. You're going to see these fellas again. I don't think it's going to look too pretty for the West Side when they step in there. They're going to have to face an angry, already tough and physical East team.
Yeah, you said it. This game was tough and physical. We're definitely going to see it be even more so when the Firebirds travel to Lakota East. Want to thank you for sticking with us tonight, both for the pregame show and your coverage. Like we've been saying, Lakota East broadcast and Lakota West broadcast, great stream we both put on together tonight. Again, want to thank you for watching. This has been Colin Kunz, Camden Braden, and Nick Johnson signing off for the night.